For the first time, the Detroit Lions have the #1 seed and a bye week. They had a bye week back when they were the 2nd seed back in the early 90s when Barry Sanders played and when we went to the NFC title game against the Washington Redskins at the time. And they have it for the first ever time in franchise history. They also have the 15-win record, which is set a new franchise record by 3 wins. So now the best we could be would be 17-0 or 16-1 to top that. So that's going to be pretty tough. And speaking of pretty tough, the opponents for 2025 are here. We know who we're going to play. There's a formula that the NFL uses. A lot of times it is based on the way that you seed or that you rank in your division as to opponents that you play. It's the NFL's way to keep things kind of fair and competitive as they allow lesser seeds to try to make an impact the next year. And with that being said, the Detroit Lions have quite a bit. These are some really good games. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you love road games, you better start putting your money up right now because I know I am. Now that I know who we're playing, I got to be ready to start cashing out by May. So I got about 5.5 months to start kind of planning and stacking the bread as such. This is coming from SI.com with the Lions. The 2025 opponents are such. We've got the Green Bay Packers, the Minnesota Vikings, Chicago Bears, new teams, New York Giants, the Dallas Cowboys, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Cleveland Browns, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. These are all home games. Not too thrilled about any of those games, really. Not really tripping. I mean, I'll be a season ticket holder, hopefully by this time next year. But if not, it's not a bunch of them games like I'm beating down the door to go to. However, when it comes to the road teams, look at this. The road teams are as follows. Green Bay Packers, got to go there. Haven't been to Lambeau Field, so that is on the list. Minnesota Vikings, Chicago Bears, haven't been there. Washington Commanders, I have not been there. Philadelphia Eagles, haven't been there. The Cincinnati Bengals, that's a drive, haven't been there. Baltimore Ravens, have not been there. The Los Angeles Rams and the Kansas City Chiefs. I have been there and I have to go back. I have been telling y'all, if you get a chance, I thought it would be another 4 years or 8 years before we played in Arrowhead, but I forgot that is with the divisional rotation. But because we have finished with the first seed or the first place in the division is why we are playing other first place teams. So we're playing the first place Baltimore Ravens, the first place LA Rams, and the first place Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs, my #1 priority is Arrowhead. Got to be there. I would love to go to Baltimore too, so I can see those Ravens fans head on. So my 3 priorities are Kansas City #1, LA Rams, if Stafford is there, still there, #2. The Baltimore Ravens will be #3. Cincinnati Bengals, I can drive there. Chicago, I can drive there. Green Bay, we'll see about that. So I'm going to focus primarily on road games next year. And I hope that I can, this year, I got a plan, stack up the funds, because Chicago, I would love to go to all of these. I would love to go to all of these games. Green Bay, drivable but long. Minnesota, drivable but long. Chicago, drivable, that's nothing. Washington, drivable but long. Philadelphia, drivable, right at the cusp of kind of my comfort zone with driving. Bengals, that's drivable. Baltimore Ravens, drivable. Los Angeles Rams and Kansas City. I mean, if push came to absolute shove, I would only fly to those 2. There were 6 games this year that I wanted to go to, and 2 of them I would have had to fly to, which was 3. Houston, it was Dallas, and it was the San Francisco game. So that is what I'm trying to do, but this is going to be outstanding. I'm not going to do any win-loss prediction until we get to the actual schedule release, which is going to be in the month of May. But just wanted to get this video out, man. The opponents have been set. I see a lot of people talking about a gauntlet. Yeah, man, but we were saying the same thing last year. We finished in first place last year, and we were saying the same thing. And look at us now, 15-2. You got to remember, this team is getting better. We're getting better every year. And I've said this, and I'll continue to say it. This offseason is going to be a big offseason for the Detroit Lions because for the first time, Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, their first draft is coming to an end. All those picks are coming to an end. If your name is not Penei Sewell, you have to be reevaluated. So they have decisions to make. And with the extension of Kirby Joseph, no doubt, even though he has one more year, even with the extension of Aiden Hutchinson, we got to make it's going to be some turnover. So I think that this Lions team is going to see the most turnover we've ever seen since Dan and Brad have gotten here, because we love those picks. They've done a lot for us to help us build this culture, and hopefully they get a Super Bowl this year so they can at least walk away with that. But I think that we're going to see a massive overhaul, a lot of turnover, and the Detroit Lions are going to become a better team. It's going to be a lot of free agents that want to come here. It's going to be a lot of draft picks that are going to be wanting to come here as well. And right now, I mean, we're the first seed, so we know that we're picking after number 18 or 19 at least. And depending on where we know that we're picking now, because there'll be 6 games. So there will be 6 teams eliminated. So that means that we're picking probably 25th and lower, right? So this is I'm telling you, my priority is going to be, and if I'm a season ticket holder, that's going to be kind of crazy, because you're talking about all 8 road games. Outside of It's Too Easy, I don't really know anybody that is going. It's Too Easy. Megan Stefanski, the fans of I'm sure it's a lot of Lions fans that's probably don't make videos, but they go to every single road game, let alone every home game, all 17 in the regular season. So next year, my goal is to go to every single road game. That's going to be the goal, because that's where it's at. However, there are some I cannot do in the cold. Let me see, which ones could I not do in the cold? Minnesota, we're going to play them at the end of the season at their place. So that's going to be, I can go to that. Green Bay, Chicago, Washington, Philly, Cincinnati, Baltimore, and Kansas City all got it. So that's going to be tough. I might not make all of them, because I got frostbite when I was little, and it's tough for me to go, and it would be dumb for me to sit outside like that, and especially like Kansas City, somewhere like that. So it might not be, I cannot do the cold. So we've got a lot of we only had 3 outdoor games. That's another thing too. We had 3 outdoor games in 2024. How many do we have now? Outdoor. Green Bay, Chicago. Our was Green Bay, Chicago, San Francisco. Green Bay, Chicago, Washington, Philly, Cincinnati, Baltimore, Kansas City. Wow. So the only game on the road, the only 2 games on the road that we don't have outdoors is the Minnesota Vikings and the Los Angeles Rams, and that's an open air stadium. Okay, so wait a minute. Green Bay, Chicago, Washington, Philadelphia, Cincinnati, Baltimore, Kansas City. That's 7 of our 9 road games are on the road. Holy mackerel. And then at home, so we now have 7, because at home is a dome, duh. So we have 7 road games, which is 4 more than we had this year. So, wow. I mean, we got a deal this year, a deal. And we went undefeated. We went undefeated in all the road games. So, anyway, let me know your thoughts. But I'm going to tell you what, if you can pick one road game, make sure it's Kansas City. That environment, especially depends on what happens this year. Will the Lions play the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl? If so, will the Lions have won the Super Bowl? And here's what I'm thinking. You see usually the Super Bowl opponents will face off usually right in the first game of the season or first week, somewhere around there. I know the Super Bowl champions kick off the season, but you know that rematch will be somewhere, and it'll be funny if we go 2 years, if we played them at the beginning of 2023, won that game, played them in the Super Bowl, won that game, and then came to Arrowhead again. So anyway, let me know your thoughts. I'm not nervous. I mean, it is what it is. When you become a good team, you play good teams. That's just the way it is. So, and the Lions were a good team last year. They're a better team this year, and they showed that, right? So long as Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell do what they need to do, then we'll stay good. We might not be 15-2 good because things happen, but who says we can't three-peat and really start to run the NFC North? Because I think it's already began. But I told y'all, man, that the narrative is changing. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. This channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. You could be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. Got to say RIP to Jared Goff. The Jared Goff head got destroyed yesterday. The gentleman I was with, they was doing a t-shirt toss, and he tried to catch a t-shirt and completely destroyed. Jared Goff basically held him up, and I could see he just crumbled, man. He just now he got a big old gash in his forehead. I just gave it to him. I said, here, you can have it, and I have to get me another one. So, and as far as the games coming up, I'm going to try my best to be at the divisional round. Worst case scenario, I will put all my money toward the NFC title game because that is the one I know I have to be to. There's no way I can miss that. So anyway, because that game is going to be expensive and the next week later. So, and we also are going to be doing a bye week and chill. Bye week and chill. What is that, you may ask? We are going to stream the entire playoffs on this channel starting on Saturday. Since the Detroit Lions have nothing to do, won't be a lot of news coming out about them, the roster moves and all that stuff. None of that is going to happen other than guys, getting nursed back to health and things like that, and maybe potential guys that could come back. So we're going to be doing what I like to call, it's been named Bye Week and Chill. We're going to stream all 6 wild card games coming up. There are 3 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, and 1 on Monday night. That is the one because, well, we'll talk about that in a different video. But this channel, you already said that. I already said that. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. I will see you. Bye week and chill.